Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream. Today is August the 4th, and I'm looking forward to doing the spiritual principle of day in a meditation for the same date. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services. Hood is an acronym that stands for Hope Offered on Demand. You can reach out to me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, I hope you're having a beautiful morning. Let's go ahead and get into this meditation. It is entitled Open-Mindedness and Spirituality, page 225. A new ideal cannot be grafted onto a closed mind. Basic text, chapter 9, just for today, living the program. Approaching step 2 with an open mind was a real challenge for me, a member shared. The concept that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity presents a real dilemma for some of us. Thankfully, a thorough first step pried my mind open enough to convince me that my way wasn't working. The member continued. That surrender set me up for step 2, and I came to believe that maybe this innate thing would work for me. Each of us grapples with the meaning of spiritual, not religious, within the context of our own worldview. The basic text promises that there aren't any catches to the proposal that we find a higher power of our own understanding, and our experience bears that out. Some of us come with deeply held convictions based in a religion tradition. Others have secular beliefs that we may be equally committed to. No matter what our view or experience is prior to NA, we find that an open mind is an important asset, allowing us to consider ideals that are new to us. In recovery, we find that being open to spiritual concepts enriches our own beliefs. We're not being asked to swallow novel ideals whole, as we may have feared, or to replace a current belief system with some prepackaged dogma. Rather, open-mindedness allows us to learn from others' experiences, taking what feels right for us and leave the rest. It's a graft, not a transplant. Instead of closing our minds to new ideas, an open mind frees us to try them out. If the graft takes, it may enhance our previously held beliefs. If not, it might still clarify our own ideals. In either case, growth results from keeping our minds open. I will remember the benefits of a more flexible and open approach to new ideals, even those about the spiritual aspects of recovery. This is a very beautiful, tender, spiritual principle of day meditation. I like the correlation to grafting because it talks about a new ideal cannot be grafted onto a closed mind, right? And the art of grafting is something that we are familiar with when it comes to surgical terms. Because oftentimes when a person has been injured or burned, they have to graft skin back over it from another area of their body. And hopefully it'll take. Hopefully the flesh will start receiving that graft and take it in and make it its own, right? However, what happens when the graft doesn't take? A lot of times infection is the reason, and that can be treated, and maybe that graft can be saved, right? But if not, a lot of times the type of scarring that develops from trying to graft new skin onto this is really atrocious looking, but probably not anywhere near how it would have looked if had the graft not happened. Okay, so this new ideal that I can have a higher power, a God of my own understanding, that this is a spiritual program and not a religion, right? This concept of developing a God that is spiritual in nature and loving and concerned about you. A lot of people that lean towards secularism may not feel that. They may not want to do that. And they have shut their minds off to the thought that there could be a higher power that cares for them, right? They're the ones that say the universe, the energy of the universe, right? They make it so broad and so big that they don't have to own it for themselves. It's just that they don't want to address this area. What is your understanding of God? What is your traditional belief? What was it? Why did you lose interest in the thought of there being a higher power? What negative, harmful experience came to you that made you feel that God abandoned you? And take a look at that. A lot of people don't want to take a look at that. That's way too deep. I'd rather just kind of, go along with this feeling and ideal, and it's really deceptive. But I feel like if I don't ever look at it, it's not gonna ever be there. Well, it's already there. Just because you refuse to have a conversation about it doesn't mean that it's not there. It means that you're at some point you're having some level of denial, right? And not willing to embrace the injury, embrace the fact that you've been hurt and that you need to heal. A lot of times that's all that is. And how much better your life could be free, understanding why you feel the way that you do, and opening your mind to the new ideal that you can have a relationship with a higher power of your own understanding. And ask some people around you what type of. I had a guy text me recently, and he asked me. He said, "Do you believe in Jesus?" And they're in recovery. I really don't ever expect anyone in recovery to come at me like that. But I didn't have a problem answering this question, right? He's connected with another fellowship, and all the members of that fellowship have the same higher power, and they're encouraging one another, right? I wasn't able to help him out with his request, but he was just trying to make sure. He didn't want to offend me, right? And I'm way past the point of being offended by anyone trying to ask me a question about who or what my higher power is, right? Because I love my higher power. I love God, right? I'm not ashamed to answer that question. But a lot of people would balk at that, right? Here's the thing. It doesn't really matter. What matters is what you believe. What is your understanding? And is that understanding bringing you closer to the center of peace and love? If it's not, then we need to make some adjustments. That's what it comes down to, right? If you can look at the pattern of your life over the last, say, day, last week, last month, we don't have to go that far back. But if we go back just a little bit of time and we see that we have not developed we can see our patterns are still whack, right? Then it's either you, the people around you, the lower destructive power, or the higher power, God. It's one or the other, right? The commonality, the common factor, the common denominator in all of this is you. It's always going to be me. It's always going to come down to what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I believing? What lie am I believing? What am I procrastinating about? What am I willing to do? Where am I drawing lines that are so hard no one can cross them? All right. What walls have I put up? It's always going to come down to what mighty stream is or is not doing, what I believe or don't believe, what I am compromising on or not compromising on. It's always going to come down to me believing that I am the person that can change this. If you're not, if the proof of your life shows you're not where you want to be in this, if your life proves, if you look back over the last month and your life proves to you that you are more talk than walk, we might need to be quiet for a minute. I wasn't trying to rhyme or rap, but the point is, if you are more talk and you're not able to effecate this into your life, you need to do some work. And you need to do it now. Because look, I watch the news every day, right? I see the news every day. Let's say I see the news, because I don't ever turn the TV on to watch news, but I see the news every day. Okay, I'm aware of it, put it like that. I make a point to pull it up on my computer and find out about certain areas. Right now, I'm paying close attention to China and Taiwan, right? I make sure I'm in the know. There is enough going on in your own community, in your own state, in your own country, that it should make you want to know who you are and who the people around you are and what your needs are. This is the time now to do the work, because doing the work may not be as easy as some of us think it's going to be. The fact that this is an anonymous program is great, but there's going to be a lot of things that don't remain anonymous that may cause your day-to-day living to become problematic. Just look at the gas prices, right? Sure, they're coming down a little bit, but just the gas prices alone changed how people were able to function and travel and get to work and put food on the table. A lot of people know that they needed to start buying ramen noodles and simple things, right? So that they can put food on the table, but also get to work, which is how they've been able to maintain their lifestyle. This is the time where you want to do the work that you can do. This is the time where we want to pour into our reserve, so that when the time comes and we need to make a withdrawal, right? I was on Facebook yesterday, and I have a few people that I'm really, really, really fond of, really, really, really fond of them. And then I have people that they're associates, right? And in another country, I have some friends that are mostly associates, but they know and are close to some people that I'm really, really fond of. And this is all within the NA fellowship. Well, one of us members OD'd in this country. And I saw the activity on the I never saw the name of the person that overdosed, but I saw the responses of people that I care about. And in the spirit of not wanting to be a gossip and all of that, I just reached out. I just reached out and sent text messages to the people that it could have possibly been. Hey, just double checking on you. I'm seeing a lot of activity of an overdose addict on Facebook, and I just want to make sure, sweetheart, it's not you, right? So it's not a given that we got another recovery. And you can always get another use. You can always get another hit. You can always, like they say, the first one is free, but you'll pay for the rest. That you can always get another one. But that next one may be your last one. That temptation to use. How do you make sure that you are able to overcome it? By doing the work that is suggested in this spiritual principle a day. By being open-minded about spirituality and going deeper. Dig, dig, dig deeper. One day, I'm going to share a picture with you. I'm going to share it just like I'm sharing this. I'm going to share a picture with you where two men are digging for gold or diamonds. I'm not sure which. They're digging for a jewel. And the one finds like this little tiny, I think it's diamonds, finds a diamond and hold it up, and he's like, this is amazing. And now that he's got this little diamond in his hand, he walks off. And the other guy digging the hole hasn't gotten anything yet, right? And the picture shows this humongous diamond, just like a few feet underneath where the guy that hasn't found anything yet decides to stop digging and switch over to the other hole and start digging over there. And now he's working on this other hole that this man found this little tiny diamond in. And just a couple feet deeper, he would have gotten enough riches to bless himself and others for the rest of their lives. I want you to dig deeper. Dig deeper. Stop looking around you at other people and their blessings. Stop looking at who's got more money. Stop looking at who's living in the best houses. Stop looking at your neighbors. Stop coveting what other people have gotten and stay in your lane. Stay steady, stay in your lane, and continue to dig deeper so that you can get all of the crown jewels that your higher power would have you to have. Right? Because believe me, you are just that close. You're just that close. You heard the saying in the rooms, don't leave before the miracle happens. Please don't stop digging deeper. Remain open-minded about your spirituality and be willing to look at what's going on with you so that you can make the needed adjustments. Remember the benefits of being more flexible and open to new ideals, right? That these are positives. These are things that help you to reach that crown jewel in your recovery. And it's for you. It's not for anyone else, nor is what anyone else has attained for you, right? Other than to encourage you to continue on the course of recovery. I have really enjoyed this. I feel like I could write a book on that topic. I have really enjoyed covering this today. I want to tell all of you that have been sending me text messages and you've been sending me emails. I want to tell you, or sending me messages even on Messenger. I want to tell you, thank you very much. I appreciate your listening. I appreciate your subscribing. I appreciate your sharing this with others because I really feel that this is my crown jewel. This is something God has given me to do, and I'm enjoying it very, very much. Maybe small now, but I don't think it will always stay small. My name is Maddie Street, and I will be talking to you tomorrow.